Hey, hit the button, please.
Welcome back, guys, to your favorite YouTube channel where no one is above the law. Today, we find ourselves in the state of Texas in the courtroom of a seasoned judge by the name of Judge David Fleischer. He has two different defendants that he will be dealing with on today. How he's going to deal with these two different defendants, especially with the unique cases that they have before him, who knows? But there's only one way to find out, guys, and that's for us to roll the footage.
Good morning, sir. What was the last name again?
Lane, Brandon Lane. Yeah.
So, Mr. Lane, you were charged with indecent exposure. You wanted to do the PC on indecent?
Yes, Your Honor.
You're charged with indecent exposure. You are facing up to 6 months in jail and/or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present during any questions and interviews with the state of Texas. If you cannot afford a lawyer will be appointed to represent you, sir.
May 26, 2024, officers were dispatched to a defendant touching his private area at the Metro-owned downtown transit center located on 1900 Main Street, Harris County, Texas. The officer was advised by Metro Dispatch that the complainant called and stated that the defendant was exposing himself to her. Complainant told officers that the defendant was a black male in a blue hoodie and boarded a Metro bus, and then ultimately pointed the bus that he had boarded. Matching the description, and complainant witness confirmed that that was the same person. Complainant stated that the defendant followed her from across the street, pulled out his penis, and started exposing it to her and looking at her. She further stated that the defendant began stroking his penis back and forth with his hands, looking at her without speaking, approximately 5 to 10 feet away. The complainant stated that she was unable to tell if he was erect, but she was able to clearly see his penis as he was stroking.
Your Honor, after speaking with my client, the officers approached two males. I have to wait on body cam to see what the other male looked like, but my client's saying that wasn't him. He just.
I mean, I don't know. I think that there's probable cause to go forward now. Mr. Lane. Mr. Lane, we will get the body cam to ensure and see if that is in fact you, because we don't know. All we know is that we have someone that has identified you. I will try to have them get the body. Do you have it now? What evidence do you have now?
This is a brand new case, Your Honor. This is the 26th, so I don't know. There's nothing in yet, so I literally just wrote this up before I came to court.
Okay, I will, Mr. Lane, I will try to have them get the information and the body cams as quick as possible so we can verify that it is you. I would say let's try hopefully a week. The problem is that I can't give you a PR bond because you continue to take off on us. I had your evading arrest at 7503 because we can't get you here. So, okay. Do you have any questions, sir?
Wow. That was pretty intense. We saw Mr. Lane kind of gearing up to do something, but who knew that he would have went ahead and slammed his head against the table the way that he did. His public defender definitely looked uncomfortable because of Mr. Lane's behaviors. And who knows what he could have said to her before they even came out for this case. Mr. Lane has some very serious charges exposing himself, or allegedly exposing himself, to someone on the street. And obviously he didn't like Judge Fleischer telling him that he can't trust him to come to court. So he's not going to be able to get a PR bond. And that just seemed to set him off. And we see what he did. And it seems like it just threw the courtroom totally off, caught everybody unexpected. But it's going to be interesting to see how the rest of this plays out.
Hey, hit the button, please.
Yes. I don't know if it was necessarily him. All right. Same thing happened down there with me. That was.
Hey, Ms. Hayes, can we have him evaluated, please?
On his previous case, Your Honor, his first case in your court, he was already set for a mental health evaluation, but he absconded. He's homeless. So.
The look that he was giving us, did you see me eyeing you to?
Yes, I moved over, yes.
Well, you see where I came from?
Oh, yeah.
He's pretty coherent when I'm speaking with him, but I've seen the episode coming about. So he's gonna be in custody. Hopefully we can schedule the evaluation. I'll speak to the CLO and go from there.
For sure.
Thank you.
So Judge Fleischer wants to send Mr. Lane for an evaluation, but his lawyer says he's already been set up for an evaluation. And unfortunately, the fact that Mr. Lane is homeless, the attorney says that when she talks to him, he's coherent. She also saw that episode coming. So he obviously not only may have some mental issues going on, but he also may be dealing with some anger issues, maybe because of his current situation of being homeless and going through some of the things that he's going through. But if there's any updates on this case, we will definitely keep you guys posted. Now we're getting ready to jump into this second case in Judge Fleischer's courtroom, where he's going to be dealing with a sovereign citizen. So now it's a whole totally different mindset that Judge Fleischer has to be in to deal with this type of defendant. So let's go ahead, guys, and roll the footage.
Talk to Madam Prosecutor on this case, Judge, and I'm approaching on two things: one, bond reinstatement, and PC on this case, Judge. She and I have already discussed it on this case, and we just both want you to hear the PC if we can, Judge.
Okay.
And then on the bond reinstatement as well, Judge.
So officers initiated a traffic stop in Harris County, Texas for a vehicle having a fictitious plate bearing the word traveler on it. During the stop, the defendant refused to provide.
Traveler. Okay.
During the stop, the defendant refused to provide ID or insurance information, stating, "I do not consent to this." Officer attempted to remove the defendant from the vehicle, and defendant actively resisted by pulling his arm away from deputies until he was detained.
Okay. Tell me what.
So we looked at, I'm sorry, Madam Prosecutor, the interference with duties of public servant, Your Honor. Even if my client is failing to give them that, then it is an arrestable offense. But in this situation, it is, Judge. However, in this particular situation, he didn't interfere with anything in terms of his own arrest. I can, if it was a resisting or something to that effect, I can.
They're just trying to get him out of the car.
I don't disagree.
It's classic sovereign case where got the license plate. Think that traveling by right is what I think how they term it.
In this situation, Judge, and the reason I'm employing upon the court is, even from what Madam Prosecutor has seen on the video, they're pulling and tugging at his arm, which put my client in some fear. It was more than one officer. It was pretty.
But he still has a duty. If they're asking you to come out, they can lawfully do that. And there are videos, and go on YouTube, right? There are hundreds of videos where officers will literally destroy your car to get you out. When you get into a pissing match with a person who has the power of arrest, who's going to win, Mr. Daly?
We don't disagree, Your Honor.
Right. You know what I mean? That's real life.
We don't disagree, Your Honor. I think under the circumstances of what actually happened, it was not Mr. Daly's position to resist or to interfere. That was not. He was concerned for his safety at that point. And actually, I don't know, did you hear that on the video? Right. And so in reviewing the video, it was pretty quick, pretty brash. They didn't give him an opportunity to respond per the prosecutor. In this situation, it wasn't as if he was intentionally
Remember,
not.
this is just a mere probable cause.
Yes,
So,
Your Honor, I agree.
they ask you to come out of the car one time. Yeah, it's really, so, I think that there's enough probable cause to go forward now. The problem is, Mr. Daly, is that we revoke your bond. Your bond is set at 2501, and you've continually failed to appear. So, the case and the way that you've treated us, it shows me that you just refuse to accept authority. How are we supposed to deal with that? How do we deal with that, Timberland?
Your Honor, the only reason I bring to your attention is I asked the court to take into consideration, we have a Black male works every day who, and I hate to put that on the court, but I do in this particular climate, that has never been in contact with any particular law enforcement court system. And from what I can see and what I hear out here from a lot of my Black male, and I'm sure it's common knowledge, is that because they are unfamiliar with the court system, they don't know, number one. Number two, when they do come in contact with police, and my mother is assistant chief of police. So I can understand, even when I was younger, I was taught that there are certain things that you have to do with when a police officer even stop you on a speeding ticket. What we don't know is whenever these officers come up, when you're somebody who don't have the privilege of having a police officer as a parent, or who isn't familiar and is being raised in this particular climate and seeing what they see on TV and seeing what they hear and everything that has occurred, you don't know what the proper steps are. I was trained from when I was grown up, what you do. I'm not saying that what he did was right or wrong. I'm not saying that how he reacted to this particular court, it is wrong. However, I'm employing upon the court to ask the court to take into a little bit of consideration. Number one, from his perspective, all defendants, can't just say this, but I do see that, from what I've known from this particular case and now in talking to him, I do believe that there is a sense of sometimes they just don't know.
Uh-oh, here we go. She pulled out the race card. When I personally, as a Black man myself, I don't know if it really applies to this situation. And I want to be fair to her and Mr. Daly. Obviously I wasn't there. None of us was there. Just by listening to the details of the traffic stop, him having a plate that says traveling, right off the bat is already going to raise a red flag and make the situation not so much be intense, but put the cops on edge right away. Not saying that they should be able to manhandle him or do anything crazy to him, but there's going to already be, just a weird interaction to start off. And as soon as he's not compliant or he starts spewing off something they don't like, it can definitely intensify the situation. But like the judge explained to him, that's a lose-lose situation for him anytime that he wants to go against the authorities, especially when he's outnumbered. Is just not going to end well for him. And as we can see, or as we heard, it did not.
Sometimes they just don't. So I'm asking to reinstate his PR bond. I am now on the case. What you know about me, I'm a tight attorney. I run a tight ship. So, and by which of way I believe I can reach him and getting him to court and resolving this matter, which is what I talked to the prosecutor about when you were on break. It's like, let's just resolve this. Let's take care of this.
I'll buy it.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, Judge.
I'm not going to do this again, though. I promise you. I don't care whoever you have. If you flake on us again, that's 3 times. It's out. I'm not going to do it again. Do you understand, Mr. Daly? I mean, when you come to court, good things happen. When you don't show up and you continually do it, you can't expect good things to happen. Now, do you have a Texas driver's license?
No, right now.
You're not allowed to drive.
Right.
You have a bond condition and you've signed an affidavit with me today promising you're not going to drive. I don't care how you term it. Driving, traveling, however you're going to word it, whatever you do not get into the driver's seat of an automobile, a motorcycle, anything with a combustible engine where you can get on the road unless you have approval from us. Do you understand? I don't care that you have to work. I don't care if you have to go to church. I don't care if you're going to a funeral. I don't care if you're going to wherever it may be. Do not drive. Do you understand? Heed this warning. You're not going to get another one. Okay, Timberlake, I'll reinstate the bond.
Thank you, Your Honor. And I'll talk to her. We were going to try to talk to Chief, but it's pretty busy
I mean,
today.
I think the case is only 3 months old,
Yes,
so you've got time. You can do whatever you want.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Judge.
Because you have a lawyer, I will waive your appearance. You don't have to waste your time coming to court now, but you must stay in touch with her and she'll tell you when you got to come back to court. If she comes back and tells me she can't get a hold of you because you're playing games or you've gone AWOL or whatnot, or you get arrested for something else, all bets off. We good? I'm not asking for much, man. You know, really. And for future reference, when you get into a pissing match with someone with the power of arrest, you are nearly always going to lose. It's just the way it works. And as a young Black man in today's society, you got to be extra special careful because things can go really wrong really quick. And there's evidence of that over and over and over. Okay? All right. Good luck, guys.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. Kudos to Mr. Daly's lawyer. Earlier, like I said, when she kind of brought up the race card and we see she kind of went into it a little more, I don't know if I can say that Mr. Daly doesn't know how to act when he's pulled over by the cops, just for the simple fact that he's already defying authority. Just like the judge said, he's already, you know, just by him missing a whole bunch of court cases and things of that nature, he doesn't seem to have, you know, some respect or maybe any respect for authority. But because of his lawyer's persistence, you know, her knowledge of being in a courtroom relationship with Judge Fleischer, she was able to get the judge to, you know, give him another chance at his PR bond to reinstate that. But the judge, I respect him for the speech that he gave him, you know, letting him know, like, listen, this is always going to be a lose-lose situation for you. He definitely agreed with the lawyer that in these type of situations, a Black man being pulled over by police, some of these situations don't end well. And it's not only for Black men either. If you really check out some of the statistics here in the United States, unfortunately, it happens to other people as well, because anytime you have human beings with egos and attitudes, whether it's the citizen or whether it's the police officer, things can go bad. But the judge laid down the law. He said, I don't care where you need to go, what it is you have to do, you better not be caught driving, because after this, there is going to be no more chances. But as always, guys, thank you for joining me here on the channel. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And the last thing I don't want you to forget, as always, is no one is above the law. Catch you guys soon. Peace out.